Welcome to this video in the series Writing Academic Papers in English Language Journals. In this video, I discuss the discussion section of your paper. And the video presentation is written and presented by myself, Ajahn Roy, of the Naresuan University Graduate School. This shows the position of the discussion section in the stream of ideas through your paper. Fundamental questions to answer here include: do your results provide answers to your testable hypotheses? If so, how do you interpret your findings? Do your findings agree with what others have shown? If not, do your findings suggest an alternative explanation, or perhaps an unseen design flaw in your experiment or theirs? Given your results, what is our new understanding of the problem you investigated and outlined in the introduction? And if warranted, what would be the next step in your study? E.g., what experiments would you do next? The discussion section is where you explain your results in detail, speculating on trends, possible causes and conclusions. You present the principles, relationships and generalizations shown by the results. You discuss the results. You do not present the results again. You do not recapitulate the results. Don't be shy. Discuss the theoretical implications of your work as well as any possible practical applications. Again, the fact is, surely, that you have done good research, you have done good science or good analysis. You are expert in this particular area of interest, so your analysis, your opinions, your conclusion and your theories are interesting, are important. So a good discussion section states what conclusions can be drawn from the results. You present the major findings first, then the minor ones, and use your data to support these conclusions. You compare your results with those of other researchers and cite the references used for comparisons. And the discussion section puts your results in the context of the hypotheses and other material in your introduction, again adhering to the scope of your paper. It indicates where your data fits into the big picture and addresses problems that arose in your study and how could they be avoided in the future. So a good discussion section will attempt to explain why results might be inconsistent with the predictions you made, what you thought would happen before you did your study based on a specific hypothesis or other background information. It explains any exceptional aspects of your data or unexpected results. It examines your results for possible errors or bias and recommends further work that could augment the results of the study you have presented, and states your major conclusions as clearly as possible using specific examples from your data. The style of writing in the discussion section: you use the active voice whenever possible in this section. Watch out for wordy phrases, be concise and make your points clearly. Be careful when using the first person. There is actually a great debate to be found on the internet about the use of the first or third person. The scientific school feels that using the first person, I, we, us, our, is not objective, and science should be objective. But the social science school views the situation as always having a certain amount of subjectivity. Even scientific experiments have this. For certain types of papers, which we might describe as opinion and experience papers, obviously the paper is written from a personal, subjective perspective. So first person is appropriate. But notwithstanding this, there must still be a clear analytical approach, and the views and opinions and the experiences described must be subject to close inspection for relevance and appropriateness. In any case, it is better to use we than I, us than me, and our than my. A relatively new research method in education has been called the teacher as researcher, with the subtext lessons from the classroom. This style of research, for example, lends itself to the use of the first person. But as always, make sure you follow your target journal's requirements. The passive voice versus the active voice. In very brief summary, active voice is where you state the actor as the subject of the sentence. For example, Ajahn Roy wrote and presented these videos as instructional videos for writing academic papers in English. So now you know exactly who to blame. The passive voice, on the other hand, is used when the activity, action, or outcome is the important subject and the actor is not relevant. These videos have been written and presented as instructional videos for writing academic papers in English. Who wrote and presented the videos is not of interest. That is the difference between passive voice and active voice. Tense is important. The past tense versus the present perfect tense. The passive voice often is stated in the present perfect tense. So consider the sentence, I replicated the tests that have previously been reported. I replicated is identifying me as the actor, and replicated is the past participle of the verb replicate, used as the past tense. Therefore, is the active voice and using the first person. Have previously been reported is the present perfect tense of the verb to report. Have been reported uses the present tense of the verb to have, as is usual in the perfect tenses, and been and reported are the past participles of the verbs to be and report, respectively. Using correct verb tenses. This video is not a big lesson in English. For that, you should go to the One Stop English Shop webpage of the graduate school and look at the course Writing Academic English. But in your paper, you should follow these rules. Use the past tense to describe what you did, what you planned, what you intended, what your results were, all the things you did in the past. Use the present perfect tense for general references to previous research. Use the present tense for scientific facts and when you are discussing your results, which are now facts unchanged from when you obtain those results. For future possibilities and recommended actions, use the future tense. Thank you for viewing this video. You can now download the PowerPoint slides for further study. And now you can go to view the video on the next section of the main body of your paper, the references section. Thank you.